Okay, guys, it might have felt a little bit strange to use those strong verbs, and as you were doing that, you might have been asking yourself, something doesn't quite feel right here. Yes, and I would agree with you. Given the context, and as I said in the main video, you've got to be aware of the relationship, whether it's a hierarchical relationship. Are you writing to your boss? Are you writing to someone underneath you? Are you writing to another business? What's their position in that company? Are you writing to a client? But nevertheless, this is a habit that you should practice, and at least you should be aware of using when you are writing. So let's have a look at those answers. It would be a good idea to talk to the CEO. So the question you've got to ask yourself here is, what does good idea mean? Does it mean a sense of obligation, in which case it should be must? Does it talk about permission, in which case it should be may? Does it talk about advice, in which case it should be should? And I think in this case it could be should, although with wider context it could be may or it could be must. You are under the obligation to file this documentation. This is a formal, pompous, unnecessarily overworded sentence, but it's got that key word in the middle of it, which is obligation, which means that this should be must. And you can see here, just by making that one change, getting rid of all of the fluff and replacing it with must, it's a much more straightforward, better sentence. Whenever you read your writing and you've got a sense of tempo, so if I read out number 2, I'll exaggerate it a little bit, but it says, you are under the obligation to file a documentation. So if you do then that tempo is never a good tempo for reading, because the reader just gets caught up in that train ride, and then, like on most train rides, you just fall asleep. And that's what happens when you are reading a text like that. But if you say you must file the documentation, your reader's not going to fall asleep. The manager said I could take holiday leave. The manager said I could take holiday leave. This is talking about permission. So here, the manager said I may take holiday leave. And you can imagine the context that this is where you're perhaps defending yourself. That someone would say, where were you on Monday? And you could say, well, the manager said I could take holiday leave. And that's kind of weak. But if you said the manager said I may take holiday leave, then that's a strong sentence. Now that person is going to talk to the manager. They're not going to talk to you anymore. So here, this is a much stronger message. And using strong verbs eliminates perhaps conversations that could happen which don't have to happen. Number 4 is, I think the conference is being held in January. And this is an informal form which people use to defend themselves a little bit, because you might be 99% sure, but not 100% sure. So you say, I think it's being held in January. Whereas you should just simply say, the conference will be held in January. Okay? If you're 99% sure, it means that you're 100% sure. You just don't want to, not feeling brave enough to say will. The conference will be held in January is a much better than sitting on the fence and not being able to make a decision. Number 5, this is something that you are responsible for. Now, in that sentence, we've got a couple of messages going on here, but the overriding message is one of obligation, which means that this is something that you must do. Not you have to do, not that you need to do, not that you should do, that you must do.